The Priestess's Heir and Wings, Chapter 5. Days after the storm, when Elise had finally regained most of her strength, she and Eden ventured to the coast to relax. Samson was busy helping the village men haul in the day's catch, while Eden weaved wildflowers into delicate garlands. Elise, however, was deep in conversation with the local fishermen. "We looked everywhere for you," Samson explained, his brow furrowed. "For 2 whole days, we searched all over, but it wasn't until we almost gave up that we found you, just south of the broken bridge." Samson scratched his head. "I checked that area dozens of times, not a trace, and then, out of nowhere, there you were. But I'm just glad we found you at all. Most of what was caught in the storm, well, it didn't make it. Sorry about that," he added with a sheepish chuckle. "It's all right," Elise said with a soft smile. "I know firsthand how deadly that storm was. Honestly, I'm surprised to be alive." An elderly man, his face crinkling with age and wisdom, looked up from the net he was hauling in. "You know that night you fell into the river. It was the night of the sleeping moon." "The sleeping moon?" Elise echoed, intrigued. "Aye, the sleeping moon," the old man said, his voice taking on a more mystical tone. "It's a moonless night, when the moon gives no light, as if the candle of the sky has been blown out before sleep takes it." "Maybe it was the guardian that saved you," Samson joked, struggling with his nets. Elise's eyes flickered for a moment. "The guardian?" she asked, though her voice held a tone of skepticism. "Do you believe in the guardian, Eden?" Eden, who had been silently weaving, paused. Her gaze lifted to the sky, unfocused, as if her eyes were everywhere at once. After a long moment, she spoke, her voice serene yet carrying the weight of something ancient. "If it is not true, no one will ever know, for the hopes of those who believe will last forever. And yet, if it is true, it will exist on its own, whether or not anyone believes." Elise and Samson exchanged confused glances, neither understanding Eden's cryptic words. The elderly man, however, chuckled softly. "Ah, those are the words of the great Priestess Isachele, no doubt." Eden smiled faintly, her expression weary. "Please, Jonan, I'm far from being a priestess, let alone the great Priestess." The old man nodded in mock seriousness. "Ah, m'lady, you may be young, but you possess a wisdom beyond your years. My best regards to you." Eden sighed and stood, brushing off the dirt from her skirt. "Come, Elise, we've lingered long enough. Mother might need us." She gave a nod to Samson and Jonan, and together they started back toward the village. "Oh, Eden, wait for me!" Elise called out, leaping to her feet. She waved goodbye to the men before hurrying to catch up. The 2 women walked in comfortable silence for a while, the rhythm of their steps matching each other. "Are you all right, Eden?" Elise asked when she caught up. Eden hesitated before answering, her tone a little distant. "Jonan was just being kind, but yes, he said some nice things. It's almost time for me to take on that role. The fall festival is nearly here." Elise's eyes lit up with excitement. "Oh yes, the fall feast. I almost forgot, it's my favorite event of the year." She grinned, her voice filled with anticipation. "The town will be decorated in lights and flowers as we say goodbye to summer and welcome fall. It's when Lady Ymir will announce you as her successor, the first priestess in hundreds of years. Everyone will be there." As they arrived home, the sweet, tart fragrance of the wavering willow tree filled the air. Its graceful branches swayed as if waving farewell to summer. Lady Ymir had woven the willow's strands into a small boat about half her size. Eden immediately joined her mother to help with the weaving, while Elise watched, her rough hands ill-suited for such delicate work. She leaned her chin on her palms, lost in thoughts of the upcoming festival. Midnight would bring the young men and women of the town together in the square, searching for someone to dance with, perhaps even court. Elise's thoughts lingered on Samson. Surely he wouldn't ask Eden to dance. After all, as the future priestess, she couldn't be courted. A pang of sadness tugged at Elise's heart as she wondered if Eden would truly spend her life alone, always untouchable, even though Elise knew what it felt like to be unnoticed, to be left out. A loud yawn escaped her, surprising even herself. "Elysia, really," Lady Ymir chided, her voice light but sharp. "Try to contain yourself. If anyone heard you, you'd be a laughingstock for all of Area." Eden laughed, her voice warm. "Mother, I'm certain that no matter if all of Area heard her, Elise would never care about their pitying laughter." Lady Ymir rolled her eyes but smiled. "Go on, Elise. At least you can make tea," she muttered as she continued her weaving. While boiling water, Elise listened as Lady Ymir began humming a familiar tune. The melody soon turned into a lullaby, a song Elise had heard countless times as a child. Secured beneath the azure sea, within the core of weaving crystals laced and locked so tightly, be the heart of a tiny, weary mortal. The being that sleeps between my ribs has learned to strike its captor's walls, so there it lays, so fragile, unfit to bloom within the castle walls. There it lies, till the king returns. And if he sees such heart of mine is truly only love he yearns, he will bring his altar wine and make a setting vow to free. Till then that being sleeps behind the walls that hid its lonely plea, asleep, a breath so coarse and blind, forever anchored beneath the sea. Lady Ymir, Elise asked after a pause, breaking the silence, "What does this song mean? I've never really thought about it before." Lady Ymir looked up, a thoughtful expression crossing her face. "The song can mean different things to different people. It speaks to what's in their hearts. Why do you ask?" "I've always wondered who the song was written for. Who is the king she's waiting for? Could it be someone specific?" Elise's curiosity was palpable. Lady Ymir's gaze softened, her tone becoming serious. Every song has a story behind it, but those of us who don't share the author's heart can never truly understand their meaning. We can only interpret it through our own understanding. Now, finish your chores, Elise. I distinctly remember telling you to clean this house from top to bottom, yet your work in my room remains undone. She pointed to her door. Lady Ymir's words lingered in the air, and though Elise had heard them 1,000 times before, something in her tone made the task feel different today. Perhaps it was the weight of the upcoming festival, or perhaps the song that still echoed in her mind, leaving her with a curiosity she couldn't shake. Elise felt an unfamiliar pull toward Lady Ymir's room. She couldn't explain it, but the thought of cleaning the space seemed to carry a strange weight today, as if the task itself was laden with meaning she couldn't grasp. The room, always shadowed and heavy with the musty scent of old incense, beckoned to her. The air seemed thicker today, as if it hid more than just dust, secrets perhaps, or something far more ancient. With a soft sigh, she gathered the cleaning supplies, though she felt an unease settle in her chest, as if stepping into the room might lead her to something she wasn't ready to find. Reluctantly, Elise approached the door, the familiar smell of ginger and herbs thick in the air, yet strangely more oppressive than before. It was as if the room itself breathed with an unseen life, waiting. The dim light filtered through the curtains, casting elongated shadows that seemed to watch her every move. Her hand hesitated on the doorknob, and for a fleeting moment Elise wondered if she was being foolish, if this was nothing more than a normal chore as it had always been. But no, today felt different. As she began to clean, her movements slow and deliberate, something caught her eye. Beneath the bookshelf, half hidden in the gloom, was a small, worn wooden box. It seemed almost out of place. Dust and cobwebs clung to its surface, yet there was something about it that drew her in, as if it had been waiting just for her. Her pulse quickened, her hand trembling slightly as she pushed the box toward her, the wood rough against her fingers. There was no denying it now, this was no ordinary dusting. Her heart skipped a beat as she pried the lid open. Inside, nestled carefully, was a folded piece of paper with a small, intricately designed key attached to it by a thin red string. Elise stared at it in confusion, her breath catching in her throat. What was this key for? There wasn't a lock in the house that she knew of, nothing to match its delicate design. A chill ran down her spine. It felt as though this key was meant for something, somewhere else. The moment was broken by Eden's voice from the other room, a gentle question that cut through the growing tension. "Are you okay in there?" Startled, Elise quickly closed the box and slid it back beneath the bookshelf, her fingers brushing against the smooth wood. The key felt heavy in her mind, but she pushed the thought aside. She had to focus. She wasn't alone. "Yes, I'm just finishing up," she stammered, her heart still racing. She resumed her cleaning, though her movements were distracted, her mind swirling with questions. Eden's footsteps grew closer, and Elise stood, trying to mask the excitement and the dread that bubbled within her. She forced a smile, trying to act normal, though the mystery of the key gnawed at her thoughts. "If you're done, let's head to the mill," Eden said, balancing a bowl of grain on her hip, completely unaware of the silent turmoil swirling inside Elise. "Yes, ma'am," Elise replied, her voice steady but distant. As she followed Eden out the door, the weight of the mysterious key remained, its presence an unspoken promise of something yet to be uncovered. Her gaze briefly flicked toward Lady Ymir, who was standing by the window, watching them with an unreadable expression. Elise couldn't shake the feeling that the box had been placed in such a way that she was destined to find it. It was as if Lady Ymir had known, perhaps even orchestrated this moment. The thought lingered in the back of Elise's mind, the mystery deepening as she stepped out into the sunlight, wondering what secrets Lady Ymir might have been keeping and whether she had known all along that Elise would uncover them.